right? I mean, what is it about this show that still gets you as excited as anything else you do?
Yeah, no, you bring in the best unsigned guys in these different weight classes, and you come in, and I say it all the time, I don't care what you did, but whatever you did before this got you in the door, it's what you do tonight. And every time, I mean, this show delivers. I was talking to, 7 years now, 350 fights that we've had now on the Contender Series. So, yeah, I love this. I love, I was just talking to Kevin's trainer out there, and he was telling me, this kid's, he's 25 years old. He said he grew up very, very poor. Like, poor like we can't imagine. And it's all been about fighting. He was going to be a professional fighter someday. And when you hear that story about this kid, you could see it tonight. He went in there with a guy who was actually bigger and stronger than him. He came in on short notice. He's a 3-1 underdog. Once this kid tasted his power and the combinations that this kid was putting on him, Diaz wanted nothing to do with that. He tried to hold him down, wanted to keep him down. This kid kept getting up, and every time he'd get up, he'd unload. A very tough dog fight. He was in tonight, and he looked damn good. I really like this kid a lot, and I'm excited about him. But that's the shit that I love, those type of stories and the way these kids fight. And then you look at this kid, Peyton, and what you could see tonight. First of all, how tough is Cortez Jr.? I mean, this kid's so tough. Took some big shots. But you look at a kid like Peyton tonight, again, 24 years old. If this kid keeps his head together, he's special. You see it here tonight. You look at the guys that have come up through the Contender Series and what they're doing now in the UFC. It's just, I love this shit.
How challenging is it tonight, right? Because you had a lot of decisions. I mean, like Tom Nolan, no brainer, right? Goes out there and throws a highlight reel. We could all write that contract. But the decisions, like, how much more challenging is it for you to go like, yeah, we're going to give this guy a shot versus, they didn't have the highlight reel finish?
Yeah, well, I didn't like the heavyweight fight. I didn't like the heavyweight fight at all. Like I said, it's not the most exciting fight of the night. But when you look at Machado, he was an underdog, right? And he beat a guy who was on an 11-fight win streak and beat him easily. I mean, I don't know what his significant strikes were tonight, but it was a big number too. So how do you deny the guy? He came in and, if he just beat a guy that was an average guy, he beat a guy on an 11-fight win streak. Guy hasn't lost a fight since his first fight and did it easily. So you take him. And then, the last guy is the other guy that you would question. I'm not looking for 35-year-old contenders. But 47 wins in kickboxing with 27 knockouts. Now he's got 4. He's 4-0 in MMA with 3 knockouts. And if you look at the fact that he came from a kickboxing background and look at what he overcame tonight. He was down on the ground. He was, he was in the bottom position. He got back up. I mean, he fought a hell of a fight for a guy who's 35 and has fought his whole career in kickboxing. Yeah. So out of respect, I'm giving this kid a shot.
I like it. The start of this week is a pretty banner week for the UFC Apex, right? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. I mean,
well, it's a fun week. Tonight, which ended up being awesome. Now we roll right into the Ultimate Fighter. Power Slap tomorrow. They got to rip this whole thing down and rebuild for tomorrow. And then, Fight Night on Saturday. It's a fun week.
Do you envision more weeks like this where there's multiple things happening all week long?
It's all coming, man. I got a lot of plans coming up over the next 2-3 years, and we're going to be using this place a lot.
Nice. A couple quick ones just outside tonight. The fans in Australia were killing us about finding out when they were getting a main event. You announced it today. I guess relieved, or what's the feeling to finally have a main event for the fans down there?
Well, it's the main event we've had for a while here. We knew it was just a matter of when we were going to announce it. Yeah, good.
Nice.
Happy, yeah.
Last thing for me, I did want to ask you, talked about the Ultimate Fighter wrapping up. Any updates on Conor McGregor, his situation? There seems to be all this discussion, like, is this fight between him and Chandler going to happen? Are there different directions?
I talked to Conor, it was either yesterday or the day before. And, he's ready to fight. I said, listen, get in shape and let's figure this out.
Is it still definitely Chandler?
Yeah. He's fighting Chandler. Conor likes to fuck with everybody, you know what I mean? Especially his opponent or possible opponents.
Yeah. Tonight, I thought Tom Nolan was a standout, right? He came in there, massive lightweight, had great hands, and he was pissed off at the guy, and you could see it. I'm curious what you thought about his performance.
Yeah. Think about that, right? So he is 6'3", 155 pounds. You know, he's a monster. Obviously, he can strike. He's powerful. He's going to be fun to watch. Again, another kid. You keep your head together. You do the right things. Bright future ahead of him.
We've seen that before, right? I think that's probably one of the most underrated things about being a professional fighter and you get to this stage. If you're a young guy and you find success early, it can be tricky to keep your head together. Is that something that you
100%.
try and tell them early on, like, hey, guys, don't fuck it up, basically?
It's the hardest thing to do. I was just watching this clip of Muhammad Ali the other day on Instagram, and he was being interviewed, and they were asking him, what's the toughest part of being a fighter? Is it the training? Is it the this? Is it the that? And Muhammad Ali says, it's the women and the partying. He says, you know, when everybody's out having fun and you know, living it up, I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock and waking up and training the next day. It's the truth. If you can keep your head together and, you know, as you start, some people deal with fame really well and some people deal with it the exact opposite. So if you can keep your head together and stay focused with the amount of talent that we see on this show, who knows what the possibilities are.
You guys offer them the PI, right? And nutrition and everything. Is that something you ever think about maybe offering them like therapists to help them with fame or anything? Is that something you can see the UFC offering guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if somebody really needed it, we would. It's just, I don't think it's one of those things that you either can or you can't. You know what I mean? I mean, how many fighters do we have under contract now? 656 guys going to go through therapy and girls go through therapy. I mean, to deal with fame, it's not a reality. But you can either do it or you can't.
Outside of this one, I was with Nate Diaz last week, and he was very complimentary about the UFC. He said he missed the UFC. I know that he said he wants to come back. Is that something that you reach out to him, or do you wait and see if he reaches out to you?
Well, we feel the same way about Nate. You know, always have. You know, I've always joked around about dealing with the Diaz brothers, but you know, these two, you see it now. I mean, they're two iconic fighters that 20 years from now, everybody will remember and talk about. And, you know, this will always be Nate's house, you know. Nate grew up here. He came in on The Ultimate Fighter. You know, he fought some of the biggest fights ever here. And, you know, we love the kid. I don't know about fighting in the future, but this is always going to be his house. And, you know, we'll see.
Did you enjoy his guillotine that he got in the 10th round?
Did I what?
Did you enjoy his guillotine that he got on Jake?
I saw it on the internet, yeah. You know, for a kid pushing 40 years old, fighting a guy 4 weight classes bigger than him in boxing and 2 in MMA, and going the distance, you know what I mean, at his age against a fucking 20-something-year-old kid, so far he's fared the best, you know, out of everybody. He looked good. I'm happy for him.
And last one for me, after a night like tonight, I know that this is probably one of your favorite things you do, the Contender Series, but after tonight, you see the fights that you have. How excited are you for the next 9 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many more times I can say it or how many different ways I can say it. I love this show. I love coming over here on Tuesdays. I love walking in with a clean slate and not knowing anything about anybody and watching what they do. You know, I fucking love this show. I love this show. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't know how many different ways I can say it. I love it.
Dana, over here.
Yeah.
Oh. So you seem pretty adamant about Peyton Talbot. I saw that you stopped him after he'd won his fight when he was going to the back. What words did you tell him?
Yeah, I was telling him that he broke the record for significant strikes in that weight class. And, yeah, that was it.
Does he remind you of another tall bantamweight fighter that came through the Contender Series one day?
Ask me that again?
Does he remind you of another tall bantamweight fighter that once came
yeah.
through the Contender Series?
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that kid fought tonight, I mean, he's only 23 years old. He looked like a straight killer tonight. I mean, when you talk about what I'm looking for, you know, on nights like tonight, you couldn't perform better and you couldn't pull it off better than he did tonight. He looked incredible.
Hey, Dana.
Yep.
Someone with Cesar Almeida, right? You said he's 35 years old, but he's had this big kickboxing history. what do you do with him? Like, is he someone like Alex Pereira where you kind of rush him? Because, I mean, he's fought Alex, right? So, like, what do you do with him?
Here's the thing about him. He was in some bad positions tonight that a guy with, 50-something kickboxing fights you'd think would be in big trouble. Totally composed, like a vet and a pro. Took his time, worked his way out of positions, never freaked out, never panicked. I think he's a guy, first of all, he's not a guy, at his age that you sit on and try to, move around. You bring him in and you throw him in there. He's got the experience. He looked damn well-rounded tonight to me. We'll see what he's got when he gets in the UFC. But like I said, this is a guy, I'm not looking for 35-year-old contenders, but you have to respect the man, his resume and what he did here tonight. So he's going to get a shot.
We haven't talked to you since UFC 291. What were your thoughts on Poirier versus Gaethje 2 and then Alex Pereira's win?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, Poirier Gaethje 2 was awesome. I mean, the fight was awesome, and the card was incredible. I was on vacation watching it on TV, but you could feel the energy through the TV from Utah. And, things that I look at, obviously, our production was flawless that night. The show was incredible. And the fighters all went out. When we do what we do best and they do what they do best, you pull off a perfect event like Utah was.
Is Gaethje probably next in line? And
I don't even.
Is Alex Pereira next in line for the vacant title?
We'll see. We'll announce soon here what's next.
Wonder Boy said that he wasn't paid for showing up. Is that something new in the contracts where like you don't have to make weight and get your show money? Or he also said that he didn't talk to you yet. So
right. So how that works is guys don't just get paid to not fight. It's not how that works. Guys have been paid. We've taken care of guys. Hey, listen, if you come in and you're making short money, we take care of you. You come in and you don't fight. First of all, you decided not to fight. The guy was 3 pounds overweight, whatever it was. You get a piece of his purse if you take the fight. But if you decide you don't want to take the fight, we also offered him another fight. There's a much bigger story behind the scenes. And no, you don't just show up and say, yeah, I'm not going to fight. I want $250,000. Not the way it works. Hasn't worked that way for anybody. So what we do is we try to get you another fight. We try to turn you around quickly. If you don't turn around quickly, then we try to figure out, well, what did it cost for your camp? We'll reimburse you. There's a lot of different ways that this gets worked out. You don't just go, yeah, this guy's 3 pounds over, I'm not going to fight, and no, I won't take another fight 2 weeks later and pay me my show money. Not how it works. You don't fight, you don't get paid. Necessarily in the contract, but we always make sure that we take care of everybody, and we're working it out with Wonder Boy right now. It's all being worked out behind the scenes, and this should all be worked out by Saturday.
Gotcha. And then finally, there was a COSM event in Utah, the big show. I think it's COSM. I might be. Is that the future of fighting? Obviously, you weren't there, but you did a little pre-package and kind of introduced it.
To what? What are we talking about?
The COSM.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys go to that?
Yes.
How badass is that?
Fucking fantastic.
So they came and filmed at one of the. I saw other events. I haven't seen our event in COSM yet. I saw like a soccer game and a basketball game and things like that. But I think that if you can't get out to a live event, and that's in your hometown, yeah, COSM is the way to go. You go in there with some friends and watch it live, and that, I think, is an incredible experience.
Yeah, is that going to be something that you're going to try and put on? I guess.
Well, yeah, we have a deal with them. So yeah, we have a deal, and I don't know how fast those places are going to pop up or where they're going to be or any of that stuff, but it's a hell of an experience.
Is that a hint that there might be fights at the MSG Sphere?
Well, I listen. We're in a deal right now with MGM, but yeah, I haven't seen the inside of the Sphere yet, but the outside is, all the hype that everybody was talking about that place. I think that they actually over-delivered on. You don't want to oversell anything. There's no way to oversell the Sphere. It's one of the coolest fucking things that I've ever seen. And I was landing the other day from being out of town, and that thing was lit up. It's unbelievably impressive.
Thanks, Dana.
Yeah. Good? Thank you, guys.
Hay agua ahí, las latitas que están ahí abajo son tuyas. Como quieras.
Kevin, congratulations on the UFC contract. I know it's still kind of settling in right now, but what's the emotions from you?
Primero de todo, felicidades por el contrato del UFC. Obviamente, joven el momento todavía. Creo que las cosas todavía está procesando, pero ¿cómo están las emociones?
Están controladas. Estoy de verdad, obviamente que emocionado, pero igual viene lo más fuerte ahora, ¿no? Vienen los rivales más fuertes y todo, y estoy listo. Entreno en el mejor lugar del mundo, que es PMAC, y tengo el mejor entrenador del mundo, que es Iván Iberico, ¿no? No hay nada que me va a sorprender.
Emotions are controlled right now. I mean, now this is where the part starts. You face tough fighters. This is what you're here for. You're gonna train, and I don't have to worry about it because I train with the best team in the world, PMAC, and I train with the best coach in the world, Ivan. So nothing's gonna surprise me.
I love it. Changes of opponents. You come in, you're a big underdog on the card. I mean, were there any struggles to keep focus or any doubt coming into this night?
Cambios de oponentes que tuviste, también el hecho de que en términos de apuestas estabas por debajo por un montón, 3-1. Esas cosas fueron algunos retos extras adicionales. No sé, ¿te complicó un poco la vida para llegar a este momento como estaba hoy?
En realidad un poco. O sea, cuando me cambiaron de rival la primera, dije, bueno, vamos a darle, pues, ¿no? Cuando me cambiaron otra vez, dije, por algo pasan las cosas. Y sobre lo que tú me dices, que sobre las apuestas estaba abajo, voy contra todo pronóstico, así que está bien, no hay problema.
There were some things, obviously. I mean, the first time that they changed my opponent, I was like, okay. The second time, I was like, wow. But things happen for a reason. And if you're telling me right now that I was also an underdog, I mean, hey, I'm going against all forecasts and predictions. So, hey, with me, no problem.
I love it. Overall, your performance tonight, how satisfied were you with it? And what do you think, that compares to what we can expect from you in the future?
Y de manera general, ¿cómo ves la performance que tuviste hoy y cómo sería este futuro ideal ahora en las próximas peleas?
Voy a trabajar más, siempre trabajo duro, así que voy a seguir trabajando, no voy a parar y sobre todo seguiré dándole, pues, ¿no? No voy a parar para nada, entrenaré y voy a mejorar los pequeños errores que tengo, ¿no?
Gonna keep working. You don't stop. I'm going to keep working on it and trying to improve things and all these small mistakes that I think I made.
All right, so last thing for me, I guess, ideally for you, what's the scenario for your debut? I mean, do you have a date in mind or opponents that you already want to challenge? What's the ideal scenario?
En términos ideales, ahora mi última pregunta, ¿algún rival ideal, alguna fecha ideal? ¿Cuándo te gustaría pelear de nuevo?
La verdad no tengo nombre, pero diciembre estaría bien, ¿no? Diciembre estaría bien.
Truthfully, no names to be said here, but December would be great. December would be awesome.
Kevin over here. Throughout the fight, you could hear your team yell at you, "Párate, párate," which means get up, get up. I'm sure you were a bit frustrated during those sequences. What was going on through your head in that moment?
Durante toda la pelea escuchaba al equipo ahí que estaba en la esquina diciendo párate, 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 o sea, para que te levantaras ahí todo el tiempo. ¿Qué estaba pasando en tu cabeza cuando estabas ahí en estas situaciones complicadas en que tenías que levantar?
Sinceramente tenía un poco de nervios, ¿no? Para mí es algo nuevo, pero igual lo pude superar y me logré parar. Me tumbó varias veces y igual me logré parar. Entonces mi estrategia era acabarlo parado, ¿no? Y darle créditos a mi rival que estaba duro también, pues, ¿no? Aguantó bastante golpe, así que si no, ya habría caído ya.
The nerves kick in a bit, but it's something that you learn to control, and then all of a sudden, just you kind of get over that. And then I started getting stuff together and started getting up. We had a plan, and the plan was actually to finish that fight standing up, and that's what I did. And I do have to give a lot of credit to my opponent because he was a tough guy.
And it seems like the mixed martial arts scene in Peru keeps growing every day. Just a couple of days ago, Jesus Pinedo defeated Bubba Jenkins. What's it like seeing all this growth in MMA in Peru?
Me parece que el escenario de las artes marciales mixtas en Perú está quedando cada vez mejor. Tuvimos ahí a otros peruanos que estaban entrenando, tenía Marcos que vino fuerte. ¿Cómo ves el escenario actual de las artes marciales mixtas en Perú?
En Perú hay muchos peleadores muy buenos, ¿no? Demasiado. Somos guerreros incas, así que tenemos esa sangre, ¿no? Esa sangre de guerreros que no nos damos por vencidos, seguimos para adelante, ¿no? Y sobre todo mi equipo, ¿no? Mi equipo entreno con los mejores, entreno con los más duros de Perú. Así que, sobre todo, también felicitar a mi compañero Jesús Pinedo, que lo dio todo. Yo estuve ahí. Y nada, que entreno con él y él es como mi hermano, así que somos del mismo equipo y somos los más duros.
There are so many good fighters in Peru. We are Inca warriors. We do not take ourselves for defeated at any point. I train with the best in Peru. I know that I got good guys there in the gym, and I have to give my congrats to Jesus Pinedo for some of that. It's a brother to me, someone that trains with me. So I mean, we're gonna go for it. We have a lot of good fighters.
Kevin, felicidades con el triunfo. Sabemos que la historia acabas de contar, que Perú tiene guerreros, pero dudo que haya gente que diga, oh, claro, Kevin, es un sueño que vas a lograr fácilmente. Pero en esta época, Jamal Hill, que vino de Dana White Contender Series, es campeón. Sean O'Malley en 2 semanas va a retar por el título peso gallo. Estos ejemplos, ¿qué más énfasis le ponen a tu sueño que no nomás es realidad, que es algo que sí en verdad puedes alcanzar?
Of course, as you say, there's so many good fighters in Peru, and people say, hey, you mentioned being an Inca warrior, somebody who fights for everything. But besides that, many people, but in spite of that, most people say, well, this is a tough challenge. But now we have a former, an alumna of Dana White Contender Series in Jamal Hill being a champion. Now we have Sean O'Malley challenging for the title in a couple weeks. Does that give you the motivation? Does that give you the inspiration and a way to say, hey, I can do this as well?
Bueno, la verdad, pucha, no sé ya qué responder porque estoy un poco nervioso, pero la verdad que en Perú tenemos a Nelson Cora que está en UFC y también lo veo como campeón, ¿no? Y sobre todo, si yo sigo a alguien de UFC, no entendí muy bien la pregunta.
El hecho de que hay ahora miembros de Contender, tenemos 2, uno
Claro.
que fue campeón y otro que puede ser campeón en una semana.
Claro.
Eso te da una motivación extra porque sabemos que es un reto venir de Perú y empezar una carrera en la UFC. Pero ahora tenemos 2 que fueron de Contender que están ahí por el título. O sea, eso te da una motivación extra. Decir, no, sí, quien sale de Contender puede ser campeón.
Claro, sí, estoy muy motivado, ¿no? Que hay próximos campeones y un campeón, ¿no? De que viene de Contender y entonces no lo veo como que estoy lejos de eso, ¿no? Yo sé que puedo lograr ser campeón, yo voy a ser campeón porque yo soy uno de los más duros y nada me va a sorprender porque entreno duro, me sacrifico mucho para lograr las cosas, ¿no? Y yo me veo como campeón.
Of course, I do see that the fact that they accomplished this, it gives us an extra motivation. It's another way to see, hey, you can do this. But I see myself as a champion. I see myself as being here to be a champion. I'm one of the toughest guys here, and I see myself as a champion that I want to be, and I want to continue to work to be a champion.
Y finalmente, para mí, ¿quién recibió la primera llamada o texto ya que agarraste este contrato y lograste este capítulo de tu carrera?
And finally, for me, who got the first text or call when you found out you got a contract in the UFC?
¿Quién ¿Quién-
¿A quién enviaste mensaje? ¿A quién llamaste cuando recibiste la...?
a mi familia, sobre todo mi familia, ¿no? Y sobre todo, no es que haya llamado, le agradecí bastante a mi profesor Iván, ¿no? Le agradecí bastante, lo abracé, le dije que es como un padre y gracias por estar conmigo y tener paciencia sobre todo, ¿no? Porque, y después llamé a mi familia, le dije que los amaba y que vamos a mejorar, ¿no? Que tienen a un hijo que está en UFC ahora y todo va a cambiar desde ahora, ¿no? Yo sé que ellos fueron el motor y motivo por también que estoy acá y sobre todo mis hermanos. Yo soy el mayor y siempre quise ser el ejemplo para ellos, ¿no? Y sé que lo estoy logrando gracias a Dios, ¿no? Sobre todo gracias a Dios.
My family. Obviously, I went to my coach and I hugged him so much, and I told him you're like a father figure to me. So my coach Ivan was the first person that I congratulated. But then obviously I called my family. I called my family to tell them I love them, especially being the older brother. I'm the older one, and I wanted to be an example for them, and also to God, because above all, I'm here because of God as well.
Gracias, man, y felicidades.
Muchas gracias. Gracias.
Congratulations on securing a contract. Still very early in your career, but to be a part of the UFC already, I mean, what are the emotions for you right now?
I haven't really processed it yet. It's pretty surreal, but to be 24 and already in the UFC is pretty big. So I don't think it's set in, but I'm just waiting for it.
I love it. Not only in the UFC, but getting high praise from Dana White as well. I guess, what was that like for you?
It was cool. It was weird to see him in person because I always see him on TV, but it just felt really good, and I just have so much pride coming from Reno. So.
I know that you're somebody that's not used to going to a decision, right? You're used to getting finishes. So, I mean, how did you feel about the way things went tonight?
I was pretty pissed that I didn't finish him. I felt like the nut kick kind of changed the pace a little bit. I still had 2 minutes, but that's my bad. Shouldn't have kicked him in the nuts. So.
Is there any value in that, though, I guess? Maybe knowing that you're going to the UFC, like, hey, if I need to go 15, I can go 15?
Yeah, I always have known that I can go that long. My cardio is always fine, but I really wanted him to finish him tonight.
Yeah. Given your frustration with not getting the finish, were you concerned at all, like, oh, is that not going to be enough? Or did you know, like, hey, I think I did enough to get a contract?
Yeah, I thought I did enough, definitely. He was backing up a lot of the time, so it was really hard for me to string my combos together. But, yeah, I felt like I was on my front foot the whole time. So.
Nice. So now that you're in, I mean, as I said, young guy, early in your career, I mean, how do you visualize your career going? Is this like, hey, I want to rush to the top as fast as I can? Or like, hey, I'm still growing and learning this game? I mean, what are your thoughts?
I definitely have a lot to improve on, so I'm going to work mainly on that, and I'm going to take my time. I'm not too concerned with getting to the belt or being the best fighter at 135. I just want to fight good fights and put on good shows, so that's my focus right now.
Nice. Last thing for me, obviously the debut will be coming. Is there an ideal scenario for it, like where you'd like it to take place, when you'd like it to take place? What do you see for yourself?
I'm hoping early next year, and I don't really have anyone in mind. I don't even really know my division super well. I just know the top 4 guys. So just somebody who likes to stand and bang, I'm down.
Hey, Payne. Is there any meaning behind the 2 circle tattoos you have?
Yeah, it's just like an internal void. It's like a hole going through me. A lot of people say I'm like a domino. So.
I dig it. Thank you.
Peyton, over here. I know you just said you're not too familiar with your division, but when you do look at that stacked UFC bantamweight division, are there any of those 4 guys you know about? Are they like a dream fight of yours, or you don't really have one?
I say this every time, but I'd really like to fight Sean O'Malley because everybody compares me to him, and it drives me crazy. So.
How do you see that fight going?
If I have, a year or 2 to, climb up to those ranks, I see myself doing really well against him.
And Dana seemed pretty adamant towards your potential in this game. He mentioned you're only 24, and it'll be interesting to see where you will be at 27. Where do you see yourself at the age of 27?
That's a good question. Probably doing the same thing, but just better and wider skill set. Just adding more tools to the Swiss Army knife. So.
And there's a sequence during the fight where Cortez caught your leg kick and you did like a little flip motion. What was going on through your head in that sequence?
I actually do that a lot in training, and he caught the leg, and I was like hoping that he was going to lift it up above his shoulder because I wanted to do that defense, but you can only do it when it's so high. So, yeah, as soon as he got it up past his shoulder, I was like, all right, I'm flipping.
Peyton, congrats on the win. Your opponent had a little bit of success in the beginning round. Obviously, are you trying to find your range, your timing? What was the adjustments going into the second and third because you were able to just walk him down and really let your offense go? I know you said you were just outside of it, but we saw you walking down and just taking over.
Yeah, I think the difference was just keeping my feet under me because with him backing up so much, I think in the first round my feet were just planted too much and I was reaching. But as I was shuffling forward, it was a lot easier to land some of my combos, but not all the ones I wanted to land.
Because of the backing up so much, did that a little bit of frustration come out where you were trying to trash talk, or what was the whole, just like, let me get in his head, see if I could bait him into like a little stand-up war?
No, I was just trying to light a fire under his ass, and this was his last chance, and he knows it, so I wanted to get as much fight out of him as I could. So I didn't want him to back up, but yeah, that was part of it.
All right, man, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you've ever seen Bleach, but your tattoo also looks like the Iran car and like Grim Jiao. I don't know if you've ever followed that series and the meaning behind removing the heart and all their weakness, and they fight a different way. I don't know if that ever.
Yeah, Grimjow and Ulquiorra are my favorite characters. So, yeah.
That's what I thought, but I had another person that said the Eternal Void as well, but we had a bet between the two of us, and I was wrong.
It's both of those, but.
I'm so lost. Yeah.
Sir.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
Hello, congratulations on securing a UFC deal. I guess what's the feeling like for you right now?
Feels freaking great. I love it. My head and foot got a little bit messed up. Feels way better after Dana said it. Call me in. So let's go.
Yeah. A dominant performance, but maybe not the most exciting performance of all time, I guess. So what were your thoughts as these things were playing out, knowing you've got to impress Dana to get a contract?
Like I think I did my best. I dominated the fight from the beginning to finish. So I tried to go for the knockout, but unfortunately, again, I started messing up my hand and foot. So I needed to pick a little bit more of my shots and not just throw. So I probably wouldn't finish that fight.
I know instantly you were happy, with the result. We could see the emotion, but as you're in the back waiting, do you think, I don't know if that's going to get me a deal, or did you feel like I think I'm in?
I saw the stats. I think I throw over 100 strikes than this guy. Defend all the takedowns attempt. He couldn't hold me. He couldn't hold me against the cage. He couldn't hold me down. Wasn't the most exciting fight, but I dominated. I showed control. I showed dominance, and I know in the end of the day, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, no doubt. For people that maybe that was the first time they see you, what would you say? Hey, this is what you can expect from me next time.
If you say, whoever's watching there, sorry, that's not my best performance. I like to go for the KO. I like to go for the finish. And next time and every time after that, that's what I'm going to be doing. But you can also expect me to work for every second of that fight.
Very nice. Last thing for me, I guess, knowing that you do have a debut coming, do you have an ideal scenario in mind, like where or when?
November 4th in São Paulo. I want to be fighting Brazil. I've been my entire MMA career in Canada. It's my dream to fight in Brazil. There's no better way to do it with my UFC debut.
Kyle, are you now a Brazilian-Canadian or a Canadian-Brazilian?
I'm Brazilian-Canadian. As we speak right now, I'm in process to get my Canadian citizenship done. I will be double Brazilian-Canadian or Canadian-Brazilian, doesn't really matter. But I'm a Brazilian, but in my heart, I carry Canada with me all the time.
Awesome, thank you.
Congrats on the win, my man. You mentioned, because we didn't hear being in the arena. You heard something during the bout? What?
Yeah, I messed up a little bit my left foot and hand just from throwing punches and kicks. I think I caught a little bit of like the side of my thumb and the top of my feet, but nothing major. Just gonna ice it up and gonna be fresh to go back to training as soon as I can.
And that's interesting because as a pro now, going forward with your career, you'll have to definitely make these adjustments on the fly. Were you and your team proud when you kind of were able to process it in the end of the fight and say, you know what, I did have a plan B. I didn't expect this to happen, but I'm able to use all of my tools.
No, 100%. My coaches were telling me right away to move, to get on there, to slip off his punches. Even there was no power behind any of that. So in the end of the day, we had to make adjustments. We had to make a little bit slower pace of the fight, but it is what it is. I came here to win, and that's what I did.
How early did this happen, the injury?
I started feeling my hand, it was second round, early second round, and I still got a bunch of punches and kick off that. So it's quite messed up right now, but worth it.
What is even more impressive now when you disclose that is that left hand you were throwing was just money. I think it landed in every single round, no question. How happy were you with that left hook, left and straight?
Oh, left side was landing all day. That's the second I started landing, and I noticed like he was eating all those shots. I knew that was going to be there all day. Like I had to slow down the pace and work my right side a little bit more because of my dangers. But I was very happy that like everything was landing. I found the game plan, and he couldn't have any answer for that.
Sir, congrats on the win and the contract.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, guys.
Tom, congrats. I think safe to say kind of the star of the show tonight. I guess, how are you feeling right now with the UFC deal secured and the highlight reel finish as well?
Yeah, man, it feels awesome. I've calmed down now, but it's exactly how I thought it was going to be. So now that I've calmed down, it's pretty surreal. I'm feeling good.
Nice. What were the feelings like coming into this versus, a typical fight for you?
It's strange. Usually I'm much more nervous. That's the weird thing about it. So like warming up out the back, for maybe a minute, I got a little bit of an adrenaline dump, and then I don't know, something clicked, and I was like, oh no, I'm meant to be here. This feels good. Whereas usually I kind of like everything kind of pulses in my eyes, and I kind of feel a bit like not really here. But yeah, I was feeling awesome.
Very nice. And I got to imagine after a finish like that, I mean, we all kind of looked around and be like, well, that one's done. I mean, did you feel pretty much the same? Like, I guess there's no question I'm going to be in the UFC?
Yeah, I knew I was in, 100%.
Very nice. Still hearing the words from Dana and hearing the high praise as well. I mean, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, it was awesome to even see Dana was cool. For him to talk to me like that was a dream come true.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think he was out before you hit him with the one on the ground. Was that a little message there? Or?
Yeah, like this guy's been trash talking me the whole time. Like I said in my interview before, when I was younger, I didn't quite stand up for myself the way I should have, and I've learned from that. And now I won't take disrespect. And he disrespected me, and that was me saying, hey, this is the game you want to play. You want to talk like that. Don't let skinny guys knock you out. That's my message to him. He's making fun of me saying I'm a tall, lanky, skinny guy. It's like, well, you better not let me touch your chin because you go to sleep. That's what happened.
Incredible. Well, I know there's a lot of excitement around you now. How do you see? I mean, you're still young, early in your career. I mean, how do you see your journey into the UFC? Is it like let's rocky ride to the top as fast as we can, or is it kind of a meaty pace? Like, how do you see it?
I'm not sure yet. I've only had 6 pro fights, but I feel like I'm super experienced. Like I said, I've said from the beginning, I think I can hang in the top 15 right now quite easily. But in saying that, I want to get experience as well, and I want to get paid. So, I would like to build my way up, knock a few people out, and do it properly.
I love it. Last thing for me, I guess, is there an ideal scenario for you in your debut? Is it fighting down under? Are there other options? I mean, dates, locations. What do you think would be the ideal scenario for your debut?
Not sure yet. I'll sit down with my team and my managers tomorrow, and we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Hey, Tom. There is an Australia card in September. Like, Would you be down to hop on that card, or is that something you want to sit down with your managers and kind of figure out?
Yeah, we need to sit down and figure it out, I think.
If you had it your way, would you make your debut in like with a quick turnaround, or do you want like a full camp for your UFC debut?
I would like a full camp. I like a full camp, definitely.
Where'd your nickname come from?
UFC PlayStation game. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And then finally, 6'3" lightweight. That's humongous. How's the weight cut? Like, is it brutal? Because we've heard, Jalen Turner is a big lightweight. What's it like for you?
You won't believe me, but it's very easy for me. People are always often surprised, but yeah, I'm on weight the night before every single time. Like it's very easy. I barely cut. In terms of sweating, when I say I barely cut, I diet down and I sweat a little bit, but yeah, with the water load, I'm on weight.
What do you usually walk around at?
The biggest I'll get is 80 kilos. That's like after a fight, not a couple of days not training, a bit swollen from like the refeed and everything. I walk around usually like 77, 78.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'm over here. I know you just said you're not sure what's next, but when you look at the landscape of the lightweight division, you could see why it's a lot of people's favorite division. Is there a fighter in like the top 10, 15 guys that you're like, yeah, I want to fight him one day? Maybe it's like a dream fight or something.
Well, obviously Conor McGregor's a dream fight, but I don't think he would be back at lightweight for a while. But other than that, not really any dream fights. I want to fight everyone, so yeah.
And I know you've been mentioning your opponent trash talking you. Was that just like when you guys saw each other here in Vegas, or was that him like going into your DMs the whole time? Or
Yeah, so he was sending me videos of him like flexing shirtless with his coaches, going like, "Oh yeah, wow, so strong," and with like no message. Like he didn't like send me a message and then send that. He just sent that. So I wrote back like, "Okay, bro." Like, yeah, I don't know, weird old tactic. I don't know what he was. Obviously, he was trying to get in my head, but like I told him, I said, "Hey, we both know that you're going to sleep." Like, he's 11-1, but we did our research. He fought nobody, so I knew he was going to sleep.
And once it was all settled, did you tell him anything after the fight?
Don't talk shit. That's what I said. I said it's a good lesson for him and his team. Like we're respectful. I don't like doing that. I enjoy going in. I mean, I like to fight people for sure, but I don't think we need to do all that. So I enjoy giving the lessons out to people like that. If you're going to talk shit to me, I'm absolutely going to give you a good lesson for it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
There's two quick ones for me. The finish was just phenomenal. Obviously, what a way to kick off season 7, episode 1. That's the one right there. What did you guys study, or what did the team say? Like, hey, that left hand is going to be right there for him when you touch him. It's the opening. Find it, get it.
Yeah, he leads with his chin. We saw footage of him breaking down my fight. So we saw the low calf kick. He was trying to counter that with the overhand right. So I knew everything would come from my left side. That first head kick I landed set everything up. And then, I knew that left hand was going to be available as soon as I started touching that. And then I dropped him first with it and then knocked him out with it. So, yeah, we game planned everywhere for this, even the grappling departments. Like, I didn't get to show it, but we were ready for everything, absolutely everything he was going to throw.
Excellent, because it looked like it for sure. When that sequence in slow-mo showed the right hand coming right after straight, so you had something lined up to really put the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
And lastly, for me, I'm sure other people can relate, the fans watching that are automatically fans of you now, with not just the highlight reel, but the story. You were able to turn things around, conquer the demons, if you will, with the bullying. What's the message to anybody that might be in the same spot that wants to turn it around or go about it a healthy way, positive, to rise to the occasion like you did?
Surround yourself with the best people. I've had a lot of adversity in my life outside of the cage. As a young man, I've been through a lot, and it's the people around me that have, helped me become who I am. I strongly believe that. My team and my family, I have a really tight circle, and they helped me believe in myself, and now I do truly believe in myself. Like tonight, it all clicked for me. I truly believe in myself, and I owe it to them.
Excellent. Thank you for that, and congrats on the win and the contract.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Tom. Just one quick question. You mentioned you don't really like the trash talk, but you also mentioned that you want to fight Conor McGregor, which seems like a contradiction. Can you explain that to me?
Just because it's a dream fight, because he's been one of my idols. You know what I mean? He's awesome. So it's not because of the trash talk; it's just because of who he is. But again, I don't see that happening. I think he's going to be probably gone and retired by the time I'm sort of entering that realm of the top 15, I guess. And I think he's probably going to be a welterweight now as well. So, but it's just a dream fight, you know.
Do you feel like there's room for trash talk if it's done correctly? Like maybe that's. I'm assuming that you don't mind the way Connor trash talks if you want to fight him, or is it all no trash talk?
I mean, if people want to trash talk, I'm just going to knock them out for it. I don't mind. Like, I'm just saying I prefer not to go down that. Like, I prefer to just sign the contracts, show up, and beat people up. But if they want to talk shit, then let's do it. But you know, I don't prefer to do it. You know.
Hey Tom, as you reflect on the Australians that have come before you in this new wave, and you're the new generation, it's the beginning of your journey. What's something as you look forward towards? You know, and I understand it's just the beginning for you. What mark do you want to make as a new generational talent for the Australians?
Well, I believe Australia. I believe we're pound for pound the best. I reckon we have the best talent coming through. And I sort of want to show the mark of the new wave, the new age people coming through. You know, I've got teammates who are going to be on this stage soon. Absolutely. Some of my coaches / teammates, you know, Don Marfan, Elliot Compton, they're some of the best lightweights in the world, and they're coming up through as well. So I guess I'm leading that pack at the moment, which is, I'm proud to say.
And more personally for you, what legacy are you wanting to leave for those behind when you're done with this game?
I want to be one of the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
Bem-vindo, tem água ali do lado esquerdo, se você quiser, aguinha ali na latinha, essa água, é a água. Isso. Show de bola. I did. In case you didn't get it.
So congratulations on your UFC contract. Obviously, you've been at a high level in combat sports for a long time, but what does it mean to be in the UFC?
Primeiro de tudo, parabéns pelo contrato no UFC. Você, obviamente, tem estado num altíssimo nível de esporte de combate, mas qual que é a diferença de estar no UFC agora?
O UFC é o maior evento de lutas do mundo, né? No Brasil, sonho é ser jogador de futebol e jogar na Champions League. Meu sonho sempre foi estar na Champions League da luta, e o UFC é isso pra gente, representa isso pra mim. Hoje eu estou no maior evento do mundo e deu certo.
The UFC is the greatest organization in combat sports. Whenever you grow up in Brazil, you want to be a soccer player and you want to play in the Champions League. The UFC is the Champions League of fighting. It's a dream come true, and I'm in the UFC, the greatest combat sports organization in the world, and I guess it went right. It went my way.
Very nice. Obviously fought a talented opponent tonight. I guess how did you feel about your opponent and the way the fight played out?
Obviamente você lutou contra um oponente talentoso hoje. Como é que você acha que a luta foi e como é que acabou acontecendo a luta de uma maneira geral?
O Lucas é um amigo meu que eu tenho. O Pedro é um pai para mim. Infelizmente a gente teve que lutar um contra o outro. A gente não teve escolha e eu sabia que ia ser uma luta muito dura. O Lucas é um atleta muito duro e provavelmente ele vai chegar no UFC também. E eu estava preparado para isso e foi uma luta que, se fosse num evento do UFC, provavelmente seria uma luta da noite, performance da noite, eu acredito. Então, nós dois mostramos que que estávamos preparados e eu mostrei que eu posso lutar tanto no chão quanto em pé. Eu fiquei muito feliz porque esses 3 meses de camp deram certo e eu consegui reverter, ficar por cima, trabalhar o ground and pound, conseguir encaixar uma finalização, conseguir trabalhar meu striker. Então, estou totalmente feliz e agradecido por tudo, por ter conseguido fazer uma boa luta hoje à noite e mostrar um pouco do que eu posso chegar e do nível que eu posso alcançar nesse esporte.
A tough fight, obviously. Lucas is a friend to me. Pedro is like a father to me. And unfortunately, obviously, they were on the opposite side. But it was a fight that I was able to show a lot of my skills and everything that I bring to the table. It's a fight that showed that the 3 months of camp that I went through, training and trying to improve. It paid off. I was able to go toe-to-toe with him. I think, by the way, Luke is going to be in the UFC eventually. But as far as the fight itself, I was able to keep up with him. I was able to show the grappling. I was able to show my ground game. I was able to actually invert a couple positions and get on top. And also, you saw me almost getting a finish in there. But just very happy that with the performance, because it showed that I'm a complete fighter, and the training paid off these 3 months, actually trying to improve and become a better fighter.
I'm sure like a highlight reel finish would have been ideal, a big knockout, but is there in some way maybe more proud of yourself showing that you are maybe more well-rounded than people thought?
Obviamente que uma finalização, um nocaute, alguma coisa mais melhores momentos assim da noite seria talvez mais ideal, mas você acha que você tem um outro lado positivo de você ter mostrado tudo que você veio trazer para o UFC, ou seja, você acabou tendo uma luta completa?
É certo que a gente busca sempre o nocaute, sempre terminar a luta, mas se isso não acontece, o mais importante é sair vitorioso e conseguir mostrar um trabalho interessante, e eu consegui mostrar isso. É claro que eu vim aqui, na minha ideia era finalizar a luta, terminar a luta o quanto antes. Não foi possível, mas continuei no jogo, na estratégia, e sair vitorioso era o mais importante. É claro que eu vou buscar sempre o nocaute, eu sou um striker. Isso é inevitável. Eu adoraria terminar a luta antes, mas não foi possível, porque do outro lado tinha um atleta muito bem preparado, e ele estava preparado para isso também. Então, eu fico feliz de ter saído com o braço levantado e com o contrato, e eu vou continuar trabalhando duro e melhorando nesse esporte.
Obviously, I'll always go for the finish, and I would like to have the finish, but I feel good about the fact that I was able to show and showcase other skills and end up, showing my everything that I could do. You always go for the finish. You always try to, and it would have been ideal, especially someone coming from kickboxing. I mean, I'm always going to go for a striker, someone that's going to go for the finish. But what you do now, I'm happy with the fight. By the way, against a very tough opponent that offered a big challenge. And I feel that right now what I have to do is kind of go back and train to actually improve all those things that I can improve to come back even better.
Nice. Last thing for me, certainly you have experience on your side, but maybe not youth on your side. So how do you see your UFC career going? Is there going to be like a rush to get things done as quickly as possible?
Minha última pergunta, obviamente que você tem as habilidades do teu lado, você tem a experiência do teu lado, mas você não tem a juventude do teu lado. Então, imagino que você vai tentar numa corrida para tentar lutar o mais cedo possível, o mais frequentemente. Como é que vai ser como é que você vê agora a tua carreira no UFC?
A pressa é inimiga da perfeição, eu tenho que estar em boas condições para poder lutar. Claro que eu quero lutar o mais rápido possível, mas eu tenho que estar bem para isso. E isso daí é só um número. Eu me sinto super jovem e eu estou pronto para grandes desafios. Eu tenho muita estrada para queimar ainda. Eu não vejo dessa forma, então, para mim, a idade é só um número. Eu estou super bem, estou na minha melhor fase, melhor do que quando eu tinha 22 anos. Porque eu tenho mais experiência agora, eu treino direito, eu estou super saudável. Então, para mim, é só um número e isso não importa para mim. E eu não tenho pressa. Não tenho pressa nenhuma, eu vou chegar bem e quero lutar quando eu estiver bem, em boas condições. E o quanto antes, melhor, claro, mas sem pressa, tudo no momento certo e no momento de Deus. Eu estou aqui, não é por acaso, e nunca foi fácil e não posso ter pressa agora.
Hurry is the enemy of perfection, and I think that I don't see it that way. I do feel young. I do feel healthy. I am much better than I feel right now. I feel much better now that I felt like at 22 years old. I don't see it that way, in a way that I actually have to get a lot of fights in as soon as possible. I'm going to do things in my time, in the time, and in God's time as well. This is how it worked to get here, and this is how I feel that it should be going forward. I think age is just a number. I feel young. I feel in the best shape of my life. And I don't see myself trying to rush into things and just try to calmly and patiently trying to get fights.
Caesar, how has it been training at Extreme Couture?
Como é que tem sido treinar lá na Extreme Couture?
Tá um pouquinho difícil, só tem cara ruim lá, né? Brincadeiras à parte, meu, perfeito. Eu tenho grandes nomes da categoria lá treinando comigo hoje. E caras que me abraçaram e me ajudaram muito nesse campo. Então, tá sendo muito bom, muita experiência. Tô aprendendo todo dia uma coisa diferente. E foi de suma importância eu vir para cá e acredito que essa luta foi do jeito que foi, porque eu estava treinando aqui, me preparando 100% para essa luta. E tudo que aconteceu na luta foram coisas que aconteceram no treino e eu estava preparado por causa disso. Treino com Strickland, Curtis, Roman, vários nomes da categoria estão lá, Brad, então foi perfeito.
I mean, it's kind of tough because they're all weak dudes. Well, jokes aside, I feel that, I mean, it's so tough. I mean, you got the best training there, and it's like it couldn't have been better. I have to thank everyone there, the team, everybody just kind of embraced me and brought me on board. And I feel that because of this training, what happened tonight was because of that training, because I saw a lot of that stuff in training. Everything that happened tonight is stuff that I saw in the gym. You getting better. There are so many opportunities for you to get better in every aspect of a game. And, I mean, I fight with Strickland. I fight with Curtis. I fight with Roman. I fight with Brad Tavares. I fight with all of them. So training with them is just, it's a perfect storm.
Do you plan on doing your future camps there?
E você pretende continuar fazendo os camps no futuro por lá? Vai ficar?
Yes, of course.
No translation needed.
No translation. And then finally, obviously, it's been 8 years since you fought Alex Pereira. Has it been inspiring to see him come to the UFC, win a championship, become this big star?
Obviamente, faz 8 anos que você não enfrenta o Alex Pereira. Tem sido motivante ou inspirador você ver a trajetória do Alex e como o Poatan chegou onde ele chegou, sendo campeão, tendo o sucesso que ele teve e está onde ele está hoje?
Sim, com certeza, porque eu enfrentei ele 3 vezes e as 3 vezes foram lutas duríssimas, então acredito que eu posso chegar também. E eu cheguei. Agora é continuar a caminhada e eu também tenho condições de construir uma grande jornada aqui. E espero que assim seja.
Of course, I mean, I fought him 3 times. They were very tough fights, and to see him come this far and become the person he is obviously something that says I can do it too, and I'm here now. So just you keep working at it, and obviously it serves an inspiration. You look up to him and say I can do it too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cesar over here. Obviously, you just mentioned the importance of Pereira and how cool it is to see him as a champion. But like you said, you have a win over him, close fights, the other 2. Is that something maybe now that he moved up a division, maybe one day you see him again? You'd like to see him again in the octagon, and maybe for the UFC to create a little storyline there?
Obviamente que você falou, fica feliz pela trajetória do Poatan e como chegou onde chegou e inspira. Mas você teve uma vitória contra ele e outras 2 derrotas em lutas duríssimas com ele. Você pensa, talvez, lá para frente, um dia, enfrentar ele, que seria talvez uma das coisas mais, em termos de trama do UFC, de história, vocês se enfrentarem no octógono um dia?
Se eu não me engano, a primeira luta foi em 2013, 2014, alguma coisa assim. Ano que vem faz 10 anos, então seria uma história perfeita, né? Não sei o futuro, quem sabe do futuro não somos nós, mas seria impressionante fazer no Brasil esse remake, já pensou? Não sei, isso daí eu preciso começar minha trajetória dentro do UFC, ganhar minhas lutas, para depois pensar nisso, não é uma coisa que eu penso agora. Mas seria uma trama muito interessante, já pensou? Ele voltando para o médico, ele já falou que quer voltar a encontrar o Adesanya mais uma vez. Quem sabe? Isso daí o futuro, quem sabe é Deus. Eu vou trabalhar para fazer minhas vitórias. Ele com certeza está trabalhando para ter as vitórias dele. Se o destino nos proporcionar isso, seria muito interessante no Brasil, 10 anos da primeira luta, já pensou? Não sei, quem sabe é Deus.
First time I fought him was 2013, 2014. So about next year now, it's going to be 10 years. So wouldn't it be great to actually be able for that to happen? It would be very interesting. It's not the time for me to think about that now. My time right now is actually I just got here. I need to get my wins. But he did mention that he would come back to middleweight to fight Adesanya, so why not? It wouldn't be great to have the remake in Brazil? That just, kind of like, let's the remakes over there. Obviously, not the time to think about this, but obviously, if it happened for us to fight each other in Brazil, that would be a great storyline for the UFC, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, would I agree? And you made the comparison of kids in Brazil who play soccer growing up to wanting to play in the Champions League, and the kids who are in martial arts want to be in the UFC. As someone from Brazil, did you ever want to play soccer, or was it just martial arts from day one?
Você fez a comparação que as crianças, quando querem ser jogadores de futebol no Brasil, querem ser jogadores, querem jogar na Champions, e que o UFC é a Champions da luta, e que quem luta quer estar no UFC. Você, em algum momento, por ser brasileiro, sempre tem essa pergunta, se você chegou a pensar futebol era um esporte para você, você quis ser jogador de futebol, ou isso nunca foi uma coisa?
Pô, eu era um bom jogador. Só que eu escolhi lutar. Eu preferi lutar e seguir meu caminho na luta.
Que posição você jogava?
Eu era meio campista.
I was a good player, actually, but I was pretty good. But I decided to actually, follow my way and just follow the fighting path. And that's what happened. I asked him what position, a midfielder.
I noticed. I saw you say you were a midfielder. Did you idolize Zico, or who'd you idolize?
Você falou meio campista, você gostava do Zico. Quem que é o teu time e quem que é o teu craque?
Eu era mais parecido com o Felipe Melo.
I was like Felipe Melo, so a fighter, pretty much.
Fair enough. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the win. Sorry, let me just piggyback off Hero's question. This rematch, if it were to happen, awesome storyline. Would you prefer it 205 or 185?
Você mencionou só para uma pergunta que foi mencionada, essa coisa de você enfrentar o Poatan de novo, digamos, se acontecesse lá para frente, você aceitaria isso a 185, ou seja, seria nos médios, ou você subiria para 205 e enfrentaria no peso dele?
As 3 lutas foram no médio, né? Teria que ser no médio. Não faz sentido ser na de cima, né?
The 3 fights were at middleweight, so it wouldn't make sense for us to actually fight at 205, so let's come back to it would be a 185.
And 2 more for me. The performance you had, 15 good minutes, hard rounds, where you showcased a lot. What were you proudest in tonight, your performance?
Minha última pergunta. De tudo que você fez hoje, você realmente saiu com o contrato, você saiu com uma vitória, você mostrou muita coisa, mas de qual coisa que você sente mais orgulho do que você mostrou hoje?
Eu sinto mais orgulho de, na hora que eu caí, eu consegui levantar numa posição boa, consegui virar, consegui trabalhar o ground and pound. Então eu fico muito orgulhoso por isso, que eu não fiquei vendido ali quando eu caí. Então todos esperavam que o César, se caísse, não ia conseguir levantar, ia ficar por baixo. E toda vez que eu caí, eu levantei, fiquei por cima e consegui ficar numa melhor posição ali. Então, eu estou muito feliz com isso, deu tudo certo. Obrigado meus treinadores, a galera que me ajudou nesse final de campo, o Nakashi, o Mota, que sempre frisaram isso. Então, estou muito feliz porque eu aprendi com isso com eles me ajudaram muito nesse final e deu certo, tudo que a gente treinou eu consegui fazer lá. Então, estou super feliz, acho que eles estão felizes também. Então, é continuar treinando e se cair, levantar e trocar porrada.
The fact that when I got knocked down, I was able to get up. Many people said that if Cesar gets knocked down, I don't think he's going to get out of there. And I was able not only to get up, establish a position, get to top position, get to ground and pound in certain situations when I was down and in the bottom. But the fact that that wasn't expected, and the fact that when I got knocked down, I was able to get up or invert positions. I'm very proud of that because I have to thank that to my coaches, so Mateus Nakashi and Nicolas Mota have been with me throughout towards the final stretch of this camp, and it paid off. I'm sure they're proud as well. Obviously, we're going to go back into training just as hard to get better. But I'm damn it, I was really proud that I was able to get up and get back into striking.
Excellent. And last for me, Cesar, there was like that sequence in the end of the second round. It was like an inverted triangle. You were just pounding away. It seemed like you were right there. How close did you feel that finish was? You could almost taste it.
Pergunta final aqui. Na hora que você estava no final do segundo round, quando você pegou ele no triângulo, simplesmente sentou em cima e começou a bater no ground and pound, dar umas marretadas nele, você achou que a finalização ali, o quão perto de uma finalização você achou que você estava?
Faltou pouquinho para finalizar a luta ali, ou no ground and pound, ou apagando ele, mas, como eu falei, era um cara duríssimo, então ele não ia se render assim tão fácil. Mas faltou só um pouquinho, se tivesse mais 20 segundos ali, eu acho que a luta terminaria. E o juiz quase parou a luta, ele reagiu, o juiz quase parou de novo, ele reagiu de novo. Então, faltou pouco, mas continuo ainda muito feliz com a minha performance.
Still obviously happy with my performance, but that came very close. I really think that I almost had him. There were two options there. Either I was just gonna take him to sleep, or I was the ground and pound would happen. The ref actually stopped the fight almost stopped the fight once, and he reacted. Almost stopped twice, reacted. I mean, it was like 20 seconds remaining. So, but I came really close. But I mean, regardless, I was very happy with the performance.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Obrigado.
Thank you so much.